Hello everyone and welcome to the lecture on Amazon Inspector. So this lecture will contain all these topics. What is Amazon Inspector? Features of Amazon Inspector, findings, integration with CI/CD pipeline, CIS scans, automated scannings and scan types. So what is Amazon Inspector? Amazon Inspector is an automated vulnerability management service that continuously scans your AWS workloads for software vulnerabilities and unintended network exposure, ensuring ongoing security monitoring. The service automatically discovers and scans running Amazon EC2 instances, container images in Amazon Elastic Container Registry, Amazon ECR, and AWS Lambda functions for known software vulnerabilities and unintended network exposure, providing comprehensive coverage of your AWS resources. When Amazon Inspector discovers a software vulnerability or network configuration issue, it creates a finding to alert you of the potential security concern. Each finding generated by Amazon Inspector describes the discovered vulnerability, identifies the affected resource, rates the severity of the vulnerability, and provides remediation guidance to help you address the issue effectively. You can analyze the findings generated by Amazon Inspector using the Amazon Inspector console or view and process your findings through integration with other AWS services, allowing you for streamlined security monitoring and remediation workflows. Features of Amazon Inspector: centrally manage multiple Amazon Inspector accounts, continuously scan your environment for vulnerability and network exposure, assess vulnerabilities accurately with Amazon Inspector Risk Score, identify high impact findings with Amazon Inspector Dashboard, manage your findings using customizable views, and monitor and process findings with other services and systems. So I'll be going through each of these features, 6 features one by one. First one, centrally manage multiple Amazon Inspector accounts. So if your AWS environment has multiple accounts, you can centrally manage your environment through a single account by using AWS organizations. Using this approach, you can designate an account as the delegated administrator account for Amazon Inspector. Amazon Inspector can be activated for your entire organization with a single click. Additionally, you can automate activating the service for future members whenever they join your organization. Future members are the future AWS accounts. The Amazon Inspector Delegated Administrator account can manage findings, data, and certain settings for members of the organization. This includes viewing aggregated findings details for all member accounts, activating or deactivating scans for member accounts, and reviewing scan resources within the AWS organization. Second feature, continuously scan your environment for vulnerabilities and network exposure. With Inspector, you don't need to manually schedule or configure assessment scans. Inspector automatically discovers and begins scanning your eligible resources. Inspector continues to assess your environment through the life cycle of your resources by automatically rescanning resources in responses to changes that could introduce a new vulnerability, such as installing a new package on an EC2 instance, installing a patch, and when a new common vulnerabilities and exposure CVE that impacts the resources published. Unlike traditional security scanning software, Inspector has minimal impact on the performance of your fleet. When vulnerabilities or open network paths are identified, Amazon Inspector produces a finding that you can investigate. The finding includes comprehensive details about the vulnerability, affected resource, and remediation recommendation. If you appropriately remediate a finding, Amazon Inspector automatically detects the remediation and closes the finding. Okay, next feature, assess vulnerabilities accurately with Amazon Inspector Risk Score. As Amazon Inspector collects information about your environment through scans, it provides severity scores specifically tailored to your environment. Inspector examines the security metrics that compose the National Vulnerability Database (NVD) base score for a vulnerability and adjust them according to your compute environment. For example, the service may lower the Amazon Inspector score of a finding for an Amazon EC2 instance if the vulnerability is exploitable over the network but no open network path to internet is available from the instance. The score is in CVSS format and is a modification of the base common vulnerability scoring system CVSS score provided by the NVD, National Vulnerability Database. Next feature, identify high common findings with Amazon Inspector Dashboard. The Inspector Dashboard offers a high-level view of findings from across your environment. From the dashboard, you can access the granular details of a finding. The dashboard contains streamlined information about scan coverage in your environment, your most critical findings, and which resources have the most findings. The risk-based remediation panel in Amazon Inspector Dashboard presents the findings that affect the largest number of instances and images. This panel makes it easier to identify the findings with the greatest impact on your environment. You can review finding details and review suggested solutions. Next feature, manage your findings using customizable views. So in addition to the dashboard, Inspector Console offers a findings view. This page lists all findings for your environment and provides the details of individual findings. You can view findings grouped by category or vulnerability type. In each view, you can further customize the results. You can further customize your results using filters. You can also use filters to create suppression rules that hide unwanted findings from your views. You can use filters and suppression rules to generate finding reports that show all findings or a customized selection of findings. Then these reports can be generated in CSV or JSON formats. Okay, sixth feature, monitor and process findings with other services and systems. To support integration with other services and systems, Inspector publishes findings to Amazon EventBridge as finding events. So EventBridge is a serverless event bus service that can route findings data to targets such as AWS Lambda functions and Amazon Simple Notification Service, Amazon SNS topics. With EventBridge, you can monitor and process findings in near real time as part of your existing security and compliance workflows. If you have activated AWS Security Hub, then Amazon Inspector will also publish findings to Security Hub. Security Hub is a service that provides a comprehensive view of your security posture across your AWS environment and helps you check your environment against security industry standards and best practices. With Security Hub, you can more easily monitor and process your findings as part of a broader analysis of your organization's security posture in AWS. Okay, let's see some more information about findings. So we have covered 6 core features. So let's understand findings a bit better. A finding is a detailed report about a vulnerability that affects one of your AWS resources. Findings are named after detected vulnerabilities and provide severity ratings, information about affected resources, and details that describe how to remediate reported vulnerabilities. Amazon Inspector generates a finding whenever it detects a vulnerability in an Amazon EC2 instance, a container image in an Amazon ECR repository, or an AWS Lambda function. Inspector continuously scans your compute environment and stores all of your active findings until you remediate them. When you remediate a finding, the finding is automatically closed, and Amazon Inspector deletes the finding after 7 days. However, closed findings can be reopened within these 7 days if the issue that caused the vulnerability reoccurs. So findings are categorized in one of the following states. First is active. So this identifies findings that have not been remediated as active. So when it is initially opened and which have not been remediated. Then suppressed. Amazon Inspector identifies findings that are subject to one or more suppression rules as suppressed. And finally, third one is closed. So when you remediate a finding, Amazon Inspector identifies the finding as closed. Integration with CI/CD pipeline. So Inspector integration with CI/CD pipeline. You can integrate Amazon Inspector container image scans directly into your CI/CD pipeline to scan for software vulnerabilities and provide reports at the end of your build. The vulnerability reports generated by Amazon Inspector allow you to investigate and remediate risks before deployment. The Amazon Inspector CI/CD integration utilizes a combination of the Amazon Inspector SBOM generator and the Amazon Inspector Scan API to produce vulnerability reports for your container images. So SBOM is software bill of materials. Basically, it will tell how much it will cost you in terms of these vulnerabilities. So the Amazon Inspector SBOM generator creates a software bill of materials from a provided container image. Then Amazon Inspector Scan API scans that SBOM and creates a report with details on any vulnerabilities detected. So you can achieve a CI/CD integration with Amazon Inspector through the Amazon Inspector plugins, which are purposefully built for individual CI/CD solutions and available in their marketplace, or you can create your own custom scanning integration. So now let's talk about CIS scan, which is for Center for Internet Security. CIS scans for Amazon EC2 instances. So Amazon Inspector CIS scans benchmark your Amazon EC2 instance operating systems to make sure you configure them according to best practice recommendations established by the Center for Internet Security. CIS security benchmarks provide industry standard configuration baselines and best practices for securely configuring a system. You can perform or schedule CIS scans after you enable Amazon Inspector EC2 scanning for an account. Amazon Inspector performs CIS scans on target Amazon EC2 instances based on the instance tags and your defined scanning schedule. Amazon Inspector performs a series of instance checks on each targeted instance. Each check evaluates whether your system configuration meets specific CIS benchmark recommendations. Each check has a CIS check ID and a title, which correspond with CIS benchmark recommendation for that platform. When a CIS scan completes, you can view the results to see which instance checks passed, skipped, or failed for that system. Okay, next, some information about automated scanning. Amazon Inspector uses its own purpose-built scanning engine. This engine monitors your resources for software vulnerabilities or open network paths that can result in compromised workloads, malicious use of resources, or unauthorized access to your data. When Inspector detects a vulnerability, it creates a finding. So when activated, Amazon Inspector automatically discovers all eligible resources and begins continuous scans of those resources. Inspector scans for software vulnerabilities and unintended network exposure. Inspector also runs scan in response to events such as the installation of a new application or patch. When you activate Amazon Inspector for the first time, your account is automatically enrolled in all scan types. Amazon Inspector categorizes scan types based on the resource types impacted by a vulnerability. So now we'll see different types of scans. So there are exactly 4 scan types. I'll be covering all of them one by one. First one is Amazon EC2 scanning. So when you activate Amazon EC2 scanning, Amazon Inspector scans your EC2 instances for the following vulnerabilities or the items. First one is common vulnerabilities and exposures, which is CVE. Then operating system and programming language package vulnerabilities, network reachability, network exposure issues. Second scan type is Amazon ECR scanning. So when you activate Amazon ECR scanning, Amazon Inspector converts all basic scanning container repositories in your private registry to enhanced scanning with continual scanning. So by default, you have basic scanning feature in Elastic Container Registries repositories, but when you activate Inspector, it will convert the basic scanning to enhanced scanning with continual scanning. You can also optionally configure this setting to scan on push only or to scan selected repositories through inclusion rules. All images pushed within the last 30 days or pulled within the last 90 days are initially scanned. Amazon Inspector continues to monitor images for a 90-day duration by default. This setting can be changed at any time. So third type of scan is Lambda standard scanning. When you activate Lambda standard scanning, Amazon Inspector discovers the Lambda functions in your account and immediately starts scanning them for vulnerabilities. Inspector scans new Lambda functions and layers when they are deployed, and rescans them when they are updated or when new common vulnerabilities and exposures (CVEs) are published. And fourth type of scan is Lambda standard scanning plus Lambda code scanning. So this scan option combines Lambda standard scanning with Lambda code scanning. When Lambda code scanning is activated, Amazon Inspector discovers the Lambda functions and layers in your account and scans for code vulnerabilities, your application package dependencies. Lambda code scanning scans the custom application code in your Lambda functions for code vulnerabilities. These two scan types must be activated together. So this is plus Lambda code scanning, which is built on top of standard scanning. So if you go for fourth one, both must be activated. So Lambda code scanning is actually dependent on standard scanning. It cannot be activated by itself. And that's all. Thanks for watching.